Hi loves, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to another Tuesday, another week, another video. Today I'm coming back with my LGBT plus facts. Why? Because I'm bi. I say that a lot on this channel, but one aspect of bisexuality that I'm yet to explore is the bicycle. Not bicycle, bicycle. I had no idea that this was a thing until I made a video on bisexuality months ago. I think it was a Q&A and someone wrote bicycle and I thought it was a bicycle pun, and you were all educating me in the comments, and I love that because this is a community. We're here to learn together, and since then I've been researching about it, I've been looking into it. It is such a thing. I'm so glad I now know what it is. The term and what it encapsulates helped alleviate a lot of concerns that I had about my bisexuality, and so I wanted to share it with you because you know me, I like to research. I've condensed it into a little packet for you in a hope that it will help alleviate some of your queries or questions or make you feel better about your sexuality too. Do your own research too, of course, by all means, but let me warn you, even though you put a little space in between bi and cycle, I see one more article come up about the history of the bicycle. It's because the bicycle is not something that's often talked about, but it really should be. But before I go on to discuss it in detail, this is perfect timing to say thank you to today's wholesome video sponsor. A big thank you to Pride Counselling. Identity is tricky. I've identified as bisexual for years and years and years, and I still find it confusing sometimes. Look at me making this video. And if you are LGBT+ and you fancy talking to someone about any insecurities that you may be facing, then Pride Counselling may be a great resource for you. It's a service that provides affordable online private counselling to anybody who identifies as LGBT+, not just bi people, anybody within the community. The counsellors on Pride Counselling are fully licensed and fully LGBT+ accepting, which is really comforting to know if you're starting out trying to find someone to help share your story with and to try and find support. All of the counsellors on their service are qualified and certified by their state's national board and have a minimum of 3 years of experience. So you know you're in a safe space. And talking about space, it's all online, which one makes it even more comforting to know that you can take the sessions wherever you want. I like to do my therapy sessions on my bed. I have my quilt, I have my comfort, and it just makes me feel a lot easier to share. And 2, being online also makes Pride Counselling more affordable, especially in relation to in-person counselling. And if it still seems unaffordable to you, that is a-okay. Pride Counselling actually has financial aid that you can apply for too, because no one should feel like they can't access therapy if they need it. So if you want to find more about Pride Counselling and maybe consider signing up, you can use my link downstairs in the description box. pridecounselling.com/Shaaba. You just fill out a little questionnaire about your identity, you get matched with a counsellor who, by the way, you can switch with and change at any point if you're not feeling comfortable. No questions asked. That's pridecounselling.com/Shaaba. Now, let's keep talking about how confusing sexuality is. So we know that bisexuality means being attracted to more than one gender, right? It can be gender-led and it can be gender expression-led. For example, I like non-feminine men and very feminine women. Bisexuality is led by gender expression. I do actually want to clear something up. In my last video about bisexuality and pansexuality, I spoke about the different ways that bisexual people defined bisexuality, and I was saying how confusing it is, which I do agree it still is a little bit confusing, how bisexuality can mean 2 but also more than 2. And a lot of you lovely people shared a bisexual definition but got rid of that confusion. Bisexuality can still mean 2, one of that being attracted to same gender, so the one that you are, and other genders being the second, which saves the confusion between men, women, non-binary people, just men and non-binary people, just women and non-binary people, or whatever combination it is. The overall point being that bisexuality means being attracted to multiple genders. We also know that with bisexuality, different ratios can exist, and those ratios can exist in different contexts. For example, someone might say, I'm like 90% attracted to men and 10% attracted to women, or 30% attracted to men and 70% attracted to women. And that could differ depending on whether you're talking about like a sexual situation, like steamy and in the bedroom, or not in the bedroom if that's your jam, or a relationship situation, which is ongoing and more than just sex. They're called bi-ratios and they're real, baby. You can be more attracted sexually to women, but want to be in a relationship with a man, or vice versa. You are valid. It could be that you are like me and prefer the idea of sleeping with a woman but being in a long-term relationship with a man. It is absolutely okay to have any kind of ratio, any kind of feeling that you're feeling. But Sometimes you may find yourself questioning what you initially thought, or feeling like you're being contradictory and not quite understanding why, you know? Like when you're online alone searching for some of that non-PG goodness, or when you're watching movies and you find yourself lusting after specific people. Feel like I'm coming off as a little bit creepy. I don't mean to be doing that. I don't know why that's happening. Or even when you're just discussing sexuality and preference around the dinner table, it's a good conversation starter. You may find yourself having those contradictory feelings and it can throw you. I cannot tell you the amount of times, especially when I was first understanding my identity, where I was like, hang on, I'm bisexual, so why am I only attracted to men? Am I not bi anymore? Why is it that when I'm looking for porn, I'm only looking for straight porn? What does this mean? Does the fact that I only want to be in a relationship with a guy mean that my life is a lie? What? It's also particularly hard if you have like internalized homophobia, biphobia, LGBT phobia. It's so common, especially in the culture that I grew up in, and it's so easy to just think, well, it would be so much easier if I wasn't LGBT+, so maybe if I'm having these feelings, it means I'm not LGBT+, and then that can make you want to not be LGBT+, which then makes you more conflicted because you know you're okay to be LGBT+, and it's really not helpful at all, is it? No, it just sets off like a larger whirlwind of confusion. Or maybe it's the other way, and you find yourself questioning yourself, not because you think that you're actually straight, but you actually think you're super gay. You know, you remember yourself being like, no, I'm not gay, I am bi, I do face multiple attraction. But then you find yourself only being attracted to same gender people. I don't know, your porno recommendations are just flooded with gay content and you're not mad about it. All of your celebrity hall passes are same gender and you just find yourself thinking, well actually, am I gay? And maybe you are. It's super valid to question your identity and adjust the labels that you use to how you accurately feel. Accurately feel. I've personally never thought that I was gay, but I have questioned whether I was just straight. Cue a lot of insecurities and questions about whether I'm just very confused. But then I find myself feeling attraction to multiple genders again, and I'm like, no, I am bi. And this is the bi cycle. It's a cycle that makes your inner thought process go a little something like this. I'm bi. Yay! I know I'm bi. Wait, what if I'm actually gay and I'm just being pressured into heteronormativity? Wait, no, I'm definitely attracted to boys. But wait, what if I'm actually straight and I'm just doing this for attention? Wait, no, I'm definitely attracted to girls. Okay, yeah, I'm bi. Wait, but what if I'm actually gay and I'm just doing this to subscribe to heteronormativity? And so the cycle continues. So there you go. It's a real thing. The bi-cycle is a real thing, and maybe it's answering some of those confusing thoughts going around your head if you think you're bi and are questioning if you're not. You are not alone. 'Cause I'm here with you. And the time periods in which you go through each stage of this cycle vary. There are hundreds and hundreds of bi people who have spoken about this online on various Reddit forums, support forums, blah 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 forums. I just like the word forums. And there have been experiences of people reporting changes to how they feel and going through this cycle on different days. Some people it takes weeks, some people it takes months. One woman's experience that I was reading about said that it took years. She thought she was actually gay because her attraction was just exclusively towards women, and then a few years later it just changed. She's like, oh okay, yeah, no, I am bi. I thought I was bi, I came out as gay, I'm actually bi, I'm bi. That is okay. And sometimes the bi cycle isn't as like rigid as just focusing on one gender. Maybe you're not just like, oh, I'm only attracted to women, now I'm only attracted to men. Sometimes you can face attraction to both, but in differing amounts or in different scenarios. Your ratios may change. I found myself at times being like, hang on a second, in that video I said that I would definitely only want relationship with men, even though I'm sexually attracted to men and women, but now I find myself feeling like I could be in a relationship with a woman. What is that about? That is okay. It's just the bi cycle doing its thing. The point is, you don't need to invalidate yourself. Any of those thoughts that pop into your head, no brain, not today. Your attraction is absolutely valid, even if it does wane side to side from time to time. The only true criteria for being bisexual is facing multiple attraction, and if that is something that you know you experience, do not let your brain or your inner saboteur tell you otherwise. It is okay. You are allowed to be proud about it. Do not let anyone else tell you otherwise. So why does the bi-cycle exist? I wish I had answers on this part. It's an aspect that I researched a lot, there are a few tiny sources that I found that explain the bicycle reflecting hormonal changes, reflecting just evolutionary changes which also occur. But honestly, I don't feel comfortable reporting any of that stuff because it wasn't in peer-reviewed papers. There isn't a lot of research on the history of the bicycle and the motives of the bicycle, or on bisexuality just generally, really. Bi-erasure is a thing, bi-studies are not really a thing, and there are so many errors in academia, especially to do with LGBT plus issues, that just have a long way to go before they catch up. And it's not because it isn't real, it's not because it isn't worth looking into. Take it from someone who's just finishing their PhD, there's a lot of politics involved in academia, and quite often people can't study what they want to study. You have to focus your research on topics that are sexy and very in and trending, and LGBT plus things, and bisexuality in particular, is never on that list. Sad times, but who knows, maybe in 5-10 years time someone else will be making a video that shows that the bicycle does fluctuate with hormones or whatever evolutionary or other motive. There is a sexual response cycle that's been researched a lot. It's mostly been looked into in terms of women, fun fact, and like fluctuates alongside hormones and pregnancy cycles. But anyway, that's a huge digression. And until we can understand the why behind the bicycle a little bit better, I hope that this video has at least given you a little bit of comfort into knowing the what. The fact that the bicycle is a thing. It can answer a lot of your curiosities or am I really bi thoughts, which are also totally valid, as are you and your beautiful little questioning self. So have faith in who you are, be proud of who you are, and don't give yourself a hard time for changing. I just wish the world didn't do that. We should never feel bad for feeling how we feel, as long as it's just feelings that aren't hurting or impacting other people in a negative way. You just do you. That was like the cringiest thing I've ever said, but there you go. Alright my loves, I'm prattling now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you'd like to see more. I will catch you next week with another video. Tuesdays at 7 PM. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.